These days, it's not enough to just hope things go well for you in your labour. There are many factors at play when it comes to birth, and putting in place a few key things can make an enormous difference to your birth and how you feel about your birthing outcomes. Now, without a doubt, the top three things that we've seen over the years that make a difference for a positive birth are safety, support, and knowledge. So when we talk about safety, what we're actually talking about is feeling safe in your environment and doing whatever it takes in order for you to feel safe. As we are mammals and hardwired to respond to our bodies when we don't feel safe in an environment, our bodies will often shut down or make large amounts of adrenaline to support a fight or flight mechanism, which can either stop your labour completely or make it more painful as we are on high alert. When a woman feels safe in labour, she will relax and usually allow her body to do what it is designed to actually do. So choosing a place that you feel safe in birthing in makes an enormous difference. This may be home, this could be in a birth centre, this can be in a hospital. It really is about choosing something that feels right for you. Each woman is different and each woman has the right to choose what feels good for her. So the second thing is all about support. Support is all about feeling that the team around you is on the same page as you and they're invested in you achieving the birth that you actually desire. So feeling supported by the team around you contributes to a woman feeling safe. So it's important that you choose care providers that are aligned with what you're wanting. If you are desiring a natural birth but choosing to have a doctor that believes strongly in interventions and drugs, then that may not be a good fit for what you're actually wanting. It also applies to the people that you bring with you into your birthing space. If you have extra support, but they don't know how to support you or bring a lot of fear to the process, then they're not also a good fit for your support team. So this is where outsourcing support by a professional to a doula or a midwife can be a great option, as they're very skilled at supporting labouring women. Now, the third thing is knowledge, and it's so important to get educated on what birth is all about and ways to actually work with your body. Long gone are the days that we lived in communities where we would see our cousins, our sisters, or our aunts actually give birth. For many people, their first experience of birth is when they're in labour themselves. So we really, really recommend getting some knowledge and learning about what normal birth is about. Often what we see on television becomes our introduction to what we think birth is, and it's usually dangerous and looks extremely painful. So getting some good education around birth not only helps you make choices that feel good for you, but it also teaches you ways to work with your body and helps to normalise the birthing process. And this in turn can alleviate fear and help you feel more confident around the whole process. These three key things may not guarantee the birth you want, but they will help you to feel supported, to make choices that feel good for you. And when a woman feels supported and respected in birth, then she often feels positive about the whole birthing experience. For many women, the birthing process is classed as one of the most challenging, intense, and incredible experiences that they'll have in their lives. It's an event that holds a really strong sense of memory, and it is a pivotal turning point in who she actually is. Now, once upon a time, there were mothers, sisters, grandmothers, and other elders in our community to support women through this experience of childbirth. But as time has passed, our sense of family and community has definitely dwindled. Women used to be exposed to birth through their sisters, cousins, and other friends, and a safety net and support system were usually formed. However, today we're expected to walk into the great unknown with a barrage of horror stories around birth and an equally frightened partner holding the space for us. Now, when you look at a marathon runner who's about to endure a 40-kilometre run, or an Ironman or woman who will spend the next 8 hours pushing their body to the limits, not only do they prepare and train, but they also surround themselves with support. So someone to give them food and drink, another to massage their weary legs, and a coach to inspire, to encourage, and to hold them to their goal when they start to fatigue or feel like giving up. Now, this process of support is normal. In fact, it's usually expected. Yet in childbirth, a similar event of endurance, many women enter into the experience without training, support, or knowledge. And after interviewing hundreds and hundreds of women on their birth stories, what I have found was that nearly 85% of women felt dissatisfied, unhappy, and some quite traumatized by their birth experience. And the three main factors that kept arising, the first was knowledge, the second was support, and the third was definitely safety. Many women reflect on how important it is to have their partner there, but commented that their partner felt just as frightened as they did and didn't know what was actually happening. So this is where someone like a doula or a birth attendant or independent midwife can come in. A woman who is there to nurture, create, and provide support for the birthing couple with the aim to educate and empower women to achieve their desired birth. A birth attendant meets with a pregnant couple to get to know them, to form a relationship, so that continuity of care can be established. An understanding is achieved around the type of birth the couple wants, and then the birth attendant helps to educate them on how that can best be achieved. For example, if a woman wants to have a natural birth, then the place she chooses to birth is really important. Birth practices today in Australia are highly interventionist, and for a woman who wants to birth naturally, a good understanding is needed of how the system actually works and what it takes to achieve a natural birth. A birth attendant is present for the duration of the birth. For most women who choose to have a private obstetrician at their time of greatest need during labour, they're cared for by midwives that they've never met, and an obstetrician won't be there to hold your hand through the whole parts of labouring. So depending on the circumstances, you may go through 3 shift changes and therefore have 3 different midwives caring for you. Through my research, many women commented on having wonderful midwives only to find their shift came to an end and a stranger came in to take over and no report was present with this new midwife. So the benefits of a doula or an independent midwife is that they're with you for the entirety of the birth, through all the shift changes, helping to alleviate the stresses and interruptions that changing staff can sometimes bring. And on top of all that she can provide at the birth, a doula or an independent midwife is also present for postnatal support, ensuring that beautiful continuity of care. Now, most doulas and midwives visit you at home after your baby's born and can assist with breastfeeding or any other practical household concerns that you actually may have. I've also found in my own experience how beneficial birth debriefing can be. 1 week, 2 week, or even 6 weeks after the birth, I find it's really important for a woman to talk about her birth experiences, particularly if there was some form of trauma or dissatisfaction. And having your own midwife or doula can provide this beautiful service for you. So having been at the birth attendant can give you her side of the story and help the mother to explore any unresolved feelings. So it's definitely worth looking more into in your birth team when it comes to the big day. To have a good birthing experience not only enables you to feel empowered as a woman, it also gives you the added confidence of the amazing journey in mothering.